Hey everybody, Toby Wayne here. And we are back with I believe, the final installment of this little series of this Spider-Man toy modification. I had to stop the last video and then make some adjustments. I sprayed matte finish on this one because I didn't want to take it off cam because I would be gone for a little while. But this is the final steps. I went ahead after I got them painted up. I've sprayed some matte finish on them to lock the paints on. The paints took really well. The paints took well. The matte finish took well. So that's cool. Very happy about that. One of the last steps, and I mentioned this in the last video, that I really like to do is I will get some paints watered down. And I'm gonna unfortunately have to do this off into the garbage can because it splatters everywhere. But you'll get the idea of what it is that I'm going to be doing here. Anytime you get blood splatter, I always enjoy doing this to my figures. It just adds some good depth to it. So I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to do this off camera here really quick, but I will bring this back up and you'll see exactly what it is that I'm trying to achieve and accomplish here. And this toothbrush has got it's loaded up good, but you basically just take a toothbrush and you get your paints watered down to a decent consistency, and then from there what I do is I just splatter it so that it has a great little blood splatter texture pattern, and it just adds some great depth to this. And I'm really sorry this is off cam, but maybe I'll do just another video of just solely the splatter part of it for you guys, just so you can kind of see what we're up against here. But yeah, this is not the normal paintbrush that I use, so it's a little different, but that's okay. We're gonna make this work. Yeah, that's good splatter. So let me go ahead and wipe this off here. So basically what I did was I just went in and I did kind of like a blood splatter effect, like it's bursting out of him, and it, kind of like as if you would be shot, or however that works. It just adds a lot of good depth to a piece when you do that. And the beauty of it is you can get it everywhere on the sculpt. And it looks good. It looks like, blood splatter. So, gonna go ahead and dry this up. And now for the final step, we're gonna go ahead and fold this once more. And then this is where I get my gloss varnish. And I just get a little bit on here. And I get myself my brush. And the key with the varnish is to make sure that your brush is dry, because when liquid gets introduced into this stuff, for some reason it just wants to foam up. It's a very strange thing. I don't know if it's just the liquid or like the water being in there and the consistency of this stuff. But anywho, yeah, I always try to avoid doing it with a wet brush. So this is great. You just apply this stuff and it just really pops. It's such an awesome thing. But even if you brush too much, see how even if you just brush it too fast, it will have a tendency to also foam up. Such a strange thing, but if those of you that have used this stuff before will know what I'm talking about if you've been in a hurry and you try to brush it. So just take your time, make sure you get a good coat, and you will start to watch this thing become magically gross right before your very eyes. So when I'm splattering up the blood, I go back, and I'll do it on this one too, but I like to go back and touch up those little tiny splatter marks oh, and there was a little bit of red. I don't know where that came from. I may have to clean that up. I think it came off of the old toothbrush, but that seems to be the only place that it is. So anyway, I like to go back and touch up those little dabs of paint, those little blood splatter marks. Sorry that the last video, I think I had seen it was like 49 minutes, almost 50 minutes. And then, of course, this video will probably be, 7. Anyway, I wasn't very well planned out, but that happens. So I'm being really careful in these high detailed areas because this is where it's going to want to start foaming when you're brushing it across these raised areas, and it has a tendency to ruffle it for some reason. Start to get the and I'll go back. I'll probably do a second coat of this gloss just to really drive the point home on this piece. Gives a good extra amount of gloss to it. Can never go wrong with goo and blood and guts in your sculptures. Well, at least mine, anyway. I do love some good blood and guts. So being careful, I'm going to just take it right up to the edge of that, right up to the edge of that shirt. I'm assuming if you've got a really good airbrush and a steady hand, you can run this varnish through your airbrush. I don't know if that's necessarily a good idea. I mean, it can be done. I don't. I always just use my paint brushes when I can. I just feel I have more control. I've actually really gotten away from using my airbrushes. Yeah, it was funny. When I first got my airbrush, I was absolutely terrified of it, and it sat in here for 2 years while I built up the courage to try it. I tried it once or twice, and I had gotten a little nervous with it, and I couldn't get it to quite do what I wanted it to do. So it was kind of that moment of, well, I guess I'll just practice with it later, and then later became a week, and then a week became a month, and then so on and so forth, to the point where 2 years later I hadn't touched it. And so then I decided, you know what, I'm not going to let fear dictate my life any further with this. And so I got back in, started reading up on the airbrush itself, basically, kind of retaught myself everything with it, the how to clean it, because it hadn't been cleaned in 2 years. So, which I want to just share with everybody. Yeah, take care of your equipment. Don't let it sit. I was pulling like string of acrylic paints and just paint in general out of that thing. Just kept pulling out, and I was just like, geez. So it was a fantastic learning experience for me. But I did not let fear dictate me, and I went back and started learning it again, and then I got to the point where I felt comfortable with it, and then I don't know what happened. I just started getting better with my paints by hands. I really started enjoying that, and it's been a while since I've gone back to the airbrush, but I feel I could, kick it on and make it work today if I really wanted to. So it's kind of like a bicycle, I guess. Once you know how to ride it, you know how to ride it. This stuff also acts as kind of a sealer, so that's good. I find that I use gloss more often than not on my sculptures. There's something about just that, the nastiness of a glossy surface that just really brings attention to whatever it is that you're trying to get over. So if you've got, you know, goo and guts, slop on that gloss, and people are just so drawn to that. That's the first thing they notice about my sculpts is that gloss and the sheen. And I've actually had people say, you know, oh, you know, when they're buying it, you know, can I touch this? Well, of course, you know, that just looks so gross and like wet, like it's gonna slime all over the place, and then my job here is done. This is taking a little longer in the glossing stages than I thought it would, which is okay. We can make it work. Thing about this is you have to make sure you hit every single area. So don't want to leave any areas untouched with the gloss, because then it'll just look odd. You want to make sure you get gloss on it. Full coverage. Looking to see if I missed any areas. And I'll definitely give it a once over off camera just to make sure that I've got everything. And that whole bottom tentacle I missed. Okay, so I think that's everything on that. I'm gonna just double check that, give it a good one over here, and I think there's a little spot I missed there. I'll be posting pictures of this to my Instagram here tonight. So I would strongly encourage you that if you have an Instagram account and you're feeling so inclined to, I would really appreciate the follow. I always enjoy getting new followers on there, and it makes me feel good, and I always enjoy the interaction of, you know, people on there. And so yeah, I'll be posting pics of this on there really soon once this video ends. And plus you can also see all my other pictures of work in progress shots of all my other sculpts and things from my past that I've done, and all that good stuff. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back in, and I'm just going to hit these little areas that are have been blood splattered, and then that kind of gives it that, or not blood splattered, venom splattered, I guess, the black goo. And I'm going to hit these spots on his face, his eyes. That's why I wasn't too terribly worried about getting some slop over on the sweater, because I can just go back and I knew I was going to splatter this thing up. So it's all good. And the shirt, for sure, he's got some good splatter going on up top here. Try to make it pretty random splatter. I think he's even got some on his arms, some on his belt. Splatter there, and here's a little section, a little piece of that epoxy clay. That's funny. Okay. And oh yeah, let me hit this side over here. These eyes. Okay, well, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, I do believe that this piece is completed. What an awesome experience this has been. Let me kick over to the wide cam here and let you guys take maybe a better shot of him. I'm not sure here. Let me back him up. Yeah, you know, what a fun piece to customize. Let me get him a little better pose here. Maybe. Or not. Yeah. He stands on his own, I promise. If I just don't quit bumping him. There we go. Yeah. So awesome. 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 I have really enjoyed doing this sculpture. It's just been such a fun piece. Yeah, awesome. So yeah, this has been cool, and I hope that everybody here has enjoyed this. I know this has been a learning experience for me, and it's been a really interesting modification. And like I said, if you guys are interested in seeing more of these, by all means, please let me know, because I am very much interested in doing more of these in a different series. In fact, I've already got another one purchased, and I'll be posting that video here really soon talking about which one I'm going to do. So yeah, this has been great. I appreciate all the support. Everybody's come in and have made comments on the page and have liked the videos and have talked with me in small chat through the comment section. So I really appreciate that. I appreciate the new likes and all the new subscribers to the channel. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Share this channel. Share these videos. You can follow me on Instagram, Toby Wayne Studios, also on the Toby Wayne Show on twitch.tv, on my Facebook as well. And yeah, this has been awesome. So I'd like to thank Clean Slate Customs for his encouragement in these modifications. And so I appreciate you, Clean Slate. Thank you very much. Got some new videos coming. I'm pretty excited. So thank you guys again so much. And I'll just see you in the next video.